Yeah, I guess. Wow. I guess after this meeting, everybody will have a 5-minute plan to eat, right? I think I should have been the first person to speak and set a pace. I was brought up by my grandparents. Unfortunately, my granddad went to be with the Lord this year in April. He was a wonderful man. He went to be with the Lord. He passed away. He gave up the ghost. He gave up the ghost. And I'm talking too much.
No. So what was your accent here?
Don't worry, we're getting there. Yes, I'm a premature baby. I was raised by my grandparents. The first thing to look into is not the accent, is the language, right? My grandmother doesn't speak English, but my grandmother can read English. So this is what we would do with my grandmother every day. We'd sit by the veranda, and my grandmother would pull out, because my granddad would always come home with small books, small Christian books. Interestingly, small Christian books. He himself could not read, but he would always come home with small Christian books, because I'm sure he would get these from Pastor Terry, the one in the UK, who's currently here with us. You'd get those small. Back then he was elder in Terry, still in faith ministries. You'd bring home the small books, and my grandmother and I would sit by the veranda, and my grandmother would read while I'm listening. Not that I'll be understanding what my grandmother is reading, neither does she understand what she is reading. But it was just a funny routine where we would just sit down by the veranda and my grandmother would read and I would listen. So obviously, I then developed an interest to try and understand what it is that my grandmother would be reading. So I'd go to school and I would make sure that I learned, I would understand. So when I'm in school, that's when I would ask the teacher, and the teacher would tell me what it means. And then in me was developed the desire and that hunger for the language. I didn't even know I had an accent. I wasn't even looking for the accent. The only thing I grew a desire for was the language. And my teacher now in school would always say, when you go to high school, everybody's going to be speaking in English. That's what the teacher would always say. So I didn't know the teacher was lying to me, because when I went to high school, not everybody was speaking English, because the same people you were with in primary school that I'm going to high school. It's literally the same people. And also, I went at a ghetto school, right? I went to school at Makundano Primary School, which is in Ferguson, and I did my high school at Ferguson 1 High. So I don't know, maybe my primary school teacher thought when you go to high school, maybe the picture of high school she had was probably some group A school, maybe Eaglesville. Maybe she thought every one of her kids was going to go to school in Eaglesville. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I went to Ferguson 1 High. So when I got there, to the shock of my life, everybody is speaking Shona. Why? Because the same person I was with in primary school. So anyway, I just kept the faith. I just maintained what I was taught in primary school by my teacher. I wish, in other words, I wish everyone I was with in primary school listened to my primary school teacher, such that maybe when we go to high school, But anyway, that would be just a brief history on the language. See, the only thing that I desired was the language. I didn't know I had an accent to the language. So maybe the accent to the language can be attributed to my father, because my father used to speak just like I did. And my father also has a political background. He was actually in the movement for democratic change. And this is top secret history. This is top secret. He's actually the man who came up with the pound and the words around the pound. The pound, Chinda, and then the words, Chinda Maiti. His political name was Earnest Mudavanhu. But funny enough, when he died, someone else assumed his name and somewhere down there in I don't know, in Masvingo there, claims to have my father's name and claims to have done what my father did. I because that's what happens in politics.
You know what? Earnest Mudavanhu, like, so I'm like,
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens in politics. At the age of 15, I had interest in politics till I grew up a bit. And I discovered no politics was for my dad. I'm a man of God. What I should do is preach the gospel of the living God and bring men to the knowledge of Christ. So I somehow had to... Actually, when I was 15 years old, there was a movement that needed to start here in Zim where we were supposed to overthrow... Okay, let me not get into that. Let me not get into politics. Usually forget you're a man of God and you start talking politics. So right now, I think I've actually said a lot. Is there anything else?
yeah, your word is real.
Huh?
Your word is real. Wow.
God is real. Something else saying about my wildest dream. My wildest dream could simply just be influence. You know, influence. Influence in the world for the glory of God. You know. Having 1 billion people watching your videos on YouTube. That would be a wild dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, 1 billion people were just watching, 1 billion people, you have reached 1 billion souls. I mean, we're in a world where we have 8 billion people. And you're just saying, I just want to reach 1 billion. So it can be a wild dream. Influence, significance, impact, change in the world. Like, in other words, the world doesn't have to be the same way it was when I came. When I showed up on planet Earth, there must be a difference. Whether by the time I leave or by the time Jesus Christ shows up, there has to be a significant difference. Notable difference that I once was there. I was once there, I was once on planet Earth. I'm not, I refuse to be statistics. I refuse to be statistics. I refuse to be just another human being that once walked and lived on planet Earth. Yeah, you can't ask me any question after this. My mother is alive. We actually live with her in Fagos. She's there. She's a wonderful woman. She's there. You see, I didn't tell you this. I'm an author. I write books. So I guess that answers your question, right? Okay. I'm an author. I've written a book that is known as The Authentic Divine Dialogue. If you go on Amazon, you'll find it. And you can download, if you have a Kindle application, you can download free versions of all the books that I've written that are on Amazon. But nevertheless, let me just be honest. I was a terrible student in English. Why? Because I had a very terrible handwriting. And also, I think faster than I write. So so when I write something down, if I'm actually writing, I will skip a lot of words. So at the end of the day, it won't make any sense. Because I will think I've written it already. And then when I'm then reading, then I realize, no, I've skipped words. So I'm a terrible writer of the English language. And yet, I've got books. How amazing that is. So in other words, automatically you then realize it can only be God. You see? It can only be God. I can't boast and say, I'm so good in the English language. What are you talking about? I'll be like, dude, this can only be Jesus. I wrote a book and people are reading it. This can only be Jesus. What the books talk about? There's what is known as the Authentic Divine Dialogue. This book is simply talking about prayer, but it's not going to be teaching you on how to pray. I'm not going to teach you how to pray in other tongues or anything, but what I'll do is I'll simply be talking about a lifestyle of prayer. The subtitle to the book is The Conversation That Leads to the Discovery of the Authentic You. So the book is Authentic Divine Dialogue, subtitle, The Conversation That Leads to the Discovery of the Authentic.
How much is the hard copy?